Hey, good afternoon, good evening, wherever the heck you are. Welcome to Crypto Media Friends, where we talk a little bit about NFTs in a way that's more about the creators in the space. So if you're a creator, welcome. We're going to talk today about different types of use cases. Yes, we will get to the hot stuff later that's blowing up, and you could 10x all your money. I'll show you what's going on with the Solana market right now and why everyone's so excited about it because, oh my gosh, it's mooning. There's a very specific and easy reason to show why that's happening. But let's check out these projects are nice, but like just an example. We'll call these inspiration projects. I think these guys have the right idea, but they're just kind of the execution is lacking. So come on. Immediately, anybody who grew up in the 90s, you're like, or 80s, 90s, you're like, dude, yes, cartridges, right? NFT cartridge, it's iconic. You take that and then you can kind of turn it into a game, a gaming platform. And so I think these guys have that general idea. It's there, and like they're going to try new games every 2 weeks. I don't quite understand. Is there going to be another game and then I buy that NFT and then I can go to this arcade? But I think if you look around the space now, I think you see everybody's into this NFT gaming, NFT game. Oh, it's got a game association to it. You're definitely going to be playing a game in here. If you guys saw my EVA video, it was kind of at the sort of the height of that, the cusp. As everybody's turned to NFT gaming, and you can see it's the most basic game you can possibly imagine. And so here they don't even have a game to show you. So it's challenging to imagine the roadmap, if you will, if you don't even at least have like a sample. And because this is like such an 8-bit type of nostalgic project, to not have one really just shows they're trying to take advantage of nostalgia in the marketplace, and but I think they're on the right track of taking something that's iconographic and then associating that with buy this NFT, I get it, I buy that cartridge, I can play your game, I can play the game that's on there in there. This is what we're talking about, the NFT future. NFTs being keys that unlock different things, different lockers, all up and down media, whether that's movies, whether that's a sporting event. NFTs are the keys of the future. And so, apologize, my hair is especially like crazy today. I think just because I lost my glasses somewhere. And usually my glasses hold it back. But it's just here to freak with you today. Game packs, I think, come trip out on these. This is a fun project. I think it's just the art is very cool. They did the website well. I think the execution is very nice. The art is very nice. Limited edition, 3888 NFTs. I'm gonna go buy it. Not necessarily. I think it's super cool. I'm kind of on the fence on this one. I'm But I think what's interesting is this is one of the first examples I've seen executed in terms of packs outside of wax. And I don't like wax so much. I think there was just they just kind of poured it on there, and so still you have limited edition, and the nice part is you get the art's kind of crazy. The more I look at it, I'm just it's kind of wild. The rat has got sores on it, but he's still kind of triumphant in this weird way. So weird art, but I kind of dig it. So on the fence in terms of appreciation brought me to here, and so I started looking into it. But I was oh hey, look at this. So you get 3 NFTs for the price of 1 transaction. So you get a pack. Now in that 0.5 ETH you get 3, and it's very in its own, as we're talking about nostalgia, in its own right nostalgic. You get to open the pack and then you can see what you have, and you probably you're trying to score a rarity here, and there's a nice name of a Singapore based artist who's involved in the project, and but I think they have it right where it's you get to get 3. You only pay for the 1 gas fee, which is nice. Yeah, I'll be honest. We'll talk a little bit about more Solana, why it's just popping off. It's popping off because transactions are $1. Okay, I've been struggling literally all day on my rig trying to mint from contract and like sort of set gas fees appropriately. It was going so nuts today. It was varying from like $2,000 to like $200 all throughout the day. There was just no understanding of the control other than like, oh, I must be doing this during a mint of some sort. And so I think, we're really reaching the sort of the bottleneck utility of Ethereum. And so I hope they can push into their next phase of, it's always been here, but it's so far off. Oh yeah, it's just around the corner. Proof of stake is just totally, it's here. I hope that goes well because, man, it's needed right now, and this is what's happening is Solana is eating their lunch for sure. And so NFT packs, just wanted to say, like, okay, you can get some packs, you can save on gas fees for your fans by doing packs, and then, I think that's fun. There's something nice about that, and I know one project for sure that's going that way, and it's gonna, I think, do really well by going with packs. I was kind of brought in to Nifty Riots. I think the art, like, it looks kind of cool, and it's got a certain uniqueness to it. But again, for me, I was just like, not quite, really not quite at the level, because I felt like they were trying to go for this pan supporting, I don't know, it's just sort of like othered minorities in a sense and said, oh, this is a minority collection, and it was like a pan minority, so it was just like all the different African masks, and it was just like, so it's international. And what makes this specifically minority? Or so we're talking very Euro or US centric. So I was like, I wasn't completely sold on the vision, but what they did have is they had a nice goal of putting this all into a metaverse museum that the DAO was going to set up. So you bought the NFTs, money was the DAO. DAO builds the metaverse museum for your art to show, and that's pretty cool as a goal. So again, another nice use case. Another fun use case I came across was this. It was tripping me out because me, I'm like all about, yeah, I'm gonna get in the metaverse and I'm gonna start, like, I'm gonna have a gallery in my metaverse place, and I want like cool stuff that I can walk into. And so, like, I'm always looking out for these types of projects that have intricacy and randomness and, hopefully music. And so I think this is what drew me here, and it has an interesting, it was so, as I was going, as you can see, sort of as we're going through this, you're like, okay, new entry computer, okay, cool. And so this is actually selling the emulator that's going to give you these visuals. So I don't know if it's kind of rhythmically, you set it to music. For us editors, Final Cut Pro had that, where if you were doing a music video, you could sort of tag on the beat certain effects. That was kind of part of, I felt like an evolution of like 6-7 years ago, before they decided to really just leave us all hanging, editors, in the space and the thing. But I don't want to go into Final Cut Pro rant on you right now. But here, they're selling a product. I thought that was interesting. They're leading with, you can create NFTs with this product. Kind of cool. I think it's smart. I think it's a nice way to get things out there. The art was a bit general for me, so I didn't get any, but I thought they were on an interesting path. And so as, a use case, as a creator, I thought that was interesting. If you have a product, to lead with NFTs as marketing, as an interesting piece of marketing, creating collectibles for your work. Okay, so on to, I know you're like, snooze alert. Well, this is for, I think the creators in the house, and this is kind of, at the heart and soul of what I do this for, so that we can be inspired and make things that are going to be unique to the community and really fill out the world of NFTs to make it a broader community. So I want to go over D-Race because it's more of a coin right now, and as an opportunity. And I know I've been kind of getting a little into coins lately, and you can tell because I've been going more into Telegrams. That's sort of the delineation. You have Discords on this side, all NFTs and kind of art and like, funky cool stuff. And then you have like the financial side that is all about Telegram and like, Death Row deraces their coin. And it's got a massive following on Telegram. This looks like a legit game. It's tough because I didn't see any of the developers, and I'm still searching for actual gameplay. It keeps saying that there is gameplay on the website. Essentially, it's PvP, PvE. You can come in and you can race your car. What I really like is it kind of incorporates a world. It incorporates metaverse in the game. So the game is set in the metaverse. You can go to these little, city hall, car rental, and then you can go to the track. You can go to a garage. You can actually buy land and create a garage. So if that dude wants to sell NFTs of tune-ups or something like that, build a garage and then you can sell things. So you can set up shop essentially in metaverse. And so they're still talking about we're in beta. The screen grabs that I did see here are very where was it? Spy Hunter. I don't know if you guys remember that game. It was in arcades and I feel like it was on Nintendo or something like that, but it was just a very simple race game. It doesn't seem to have a good screenshot of it right now. But it was very like Spy Hunter. So this is the level of gaming that we're talking about. These are very simple games, and that's okay. But that's why I kind of like the the cartridge idea, because you're the expectation is it's going to be 8-bit, and it's going to be fun in that way, as long as the game is well thought out and well designed. That's hard to do, and so but you alleviate a lot of that cost on a lot of the heaviness that comes with designing a game by lowering the resolution, lowering the expectations of gameplay immersion. But certainly you can have a fun game, and if you set it in the metaverse, you have immersion. If you set it in a community, you have immersion, because that's what's fun about playing games online, is you have a community immersion, and you have competition. You have people who are playing weird and cheating like hell, so you learn how to cheat like them, and so there's a lot of fun utility with Death Race. Now, here's the thing. If you're coming from Europe, yay, get into this. If you're coming from Asia, everywhere except China, yay, get into this. It's illegal in the U.S. and in China and in Hong Kong. And so it's... unfortunately, it was something that was just I was like, oh, I don't even know if I want to talk about it much, because I know most of you are from the States. But hello from all over the world. And so, it's something that's hard to talk about, other than wow, there's a really nice game that actually is legit on the Binance Smart Chain. So they'll give you some more indication of just how, I don't want to say shady, but sort of outer limits, this is, on the bleeding edge, if you will, because, Binance Smart Chain's, notoriety, we'll say, in this space is being very aggressive, but not actually being very legal in most places, and so skirting those. But this looks like a legit game, and so but on it, I think the most important walkaway was I found GameFi, which is the Launchpad, and that was something that I was talking about in earlier episodes of looking for. On the coin side of things now, it's being developed on the NFT side, where you buy an NFT to become a member, and then once you're a member, you can access these 10 artists that are dropping one each month, and so there's layers to that, and so there's layers of complexity that I think are confounding right now to the NFT marketplace. So it's hard for them to get membership and until one of their artists, actually there's a couple that have really high-end artists doing drops. So eventually some people, I think, in a certain space that they're going to want to attract probably the 1 to 5 ETH crowd is just going to be oh, okay, yes, I'm going to pay a $20,000 for this artist because they're a great established artist, and that's awesome. Here in the coin side of things, the financial side of things, it becomes a bit more of a launch pad. So you have to get into this launch pad. You have to buy coins in the launch pad. You have to stake. Typically, stake in the launch pad. Go and check out GameFi. I really haven't had a chance. Maybe I'll do a thing on GameFi. But you have to stake. You become part of this. Financially, you have skin in the game that qualifies you to then get on the launch pad and catch the projects that they're going to launch. And so, as I mentioned, there's a lot of these, and projects have the ability to go from one launch pad to the next. We call them phases. So phase 1, I'm going to go with this launch pad. Phase 2, we're going with these guys. So having access to one launch pad sometimes is not enough. And so by looking at and trying to find them all, which I'm trying to help you do, we can sort of have a mass understanding of when things are launching, and to be ready for when things are launching, to be already part of these and staking with these helps you get access to these types of things. And so this game is going to be super awesome. And I already have 47,000 people. It's got a decent following, so check it out. And if you are of the ilk that wants to get in on the finance sort of side of things and be an early investor to the metaverse and gaming, it's kind of, you have to straddle, right? it's like you can know NFTs but you still have those traditional sort of DeFi skills that you need in order to stake and take advantage of getting in on the ground floor of some of these insanely massive projects that are very well funded. And so I wanted to end on what everyone's talking about. I know. Oh, Solana. And Solana, it's been a big thing on the boards past few days. Everyone's talking about like, oh gosh, everything's mooning. And I tell you, I came early and went to, and it's just like, I was not excited about these projects. They all look super derivative. There's one I like, and it's Aurora actually here right in front of us. But like Soul Punks, Degen, Ape Community, Ape Shit Social Club. I mean, they just seem like really bad, degenerative, variations that were cheaply made. There was no utility. I think the saving fracked. Look, we're art blocks. And hey, check them out. Maybe they're onto something. But for me, it seemed very derivative as a creative looking at this in the space. You're like who am I selling with here? Who am I? It looks like Amazon in the early days when they just sold bad movies. Eventually, it's going to get better. They're going to invest because they have so much money and they have so much growth in their coin appreciation that that's going to create leverage, and that's going to create they're going to be able to commission. That's what's exciting, I think, as well. If they really wanted to, you can be able to commission great artists to create NFTs on your marketplace, bring the notoriety to your marketplace. We talk a lot about how a lot of projects are doing that, and to varying degrees. Theta, I'm always hoping Theta, wins out. They're so highly touted and pumped, but I think a lot of what we look at, the top market caps right now are just speculative. I don't want to belabor it, but look at Cardano. It's like, it's not even barely just got smart contracts. Like, who's on it? But it's a top 10, and it's over Uniswap that does hundreds of millions of dollars of transactions already. It's over Chainlink that is like so vital to this community in terms of Filecoin. These things that are actually used, actually make and generate economic growth within this space. Are being like bumped out of the top 10 for these. So anywho, getting off my soapbox, check out the Solana marketplace. I go to Solana Art, and it's in beta, right? But like, that was the thing, is like, it's kind of been in beta, I feel like, for several weeks, because it just seems to have the same projects and the same everything. But I will say Aurora is quite nice. The art is nice. It doesn't have, to me, again, any sort of use case or any other reason to own it other than it's quite cool. It's like sort of an anime-y, it's got some attitude. It's kind of cool in its design. And so, but at 130 Sol, at 1,000, it's just like, every single one. I think the floor is, what do I have the floor at here? Okay, the floor is at 24. So we're doing 24 by 130. So it's $10,000 for this 80, down here. And so 80 Sol, this one is $10,000 at this point. And you're like, oh my gosh, it's mooning. Oh, Bored Apes. No, this is just because you're priced out of all the other projects. You're pissed off at gas. You heard of Solana. You come to this marketplace and you're like, oh, hey, this is pretty cool. What transactions are $1? So you saw yesterday, $2,000 transactions. Today I'm fighting $2,000 transactions. I put the lowest gas possible on a purchase because I feel like on OpenSeas, I think I purchase it. It's just going to we're going to laugh at how long it takes. It was like an $80 gas fee, and it's a joke how long it's going to take. It might take a day. By the time I come back to you tomorrow, it might still be processing. That's $80 now on that network. And so just kind of experiment with gas all day today to just see how tough it is right now. Doing anything on ETH. And so here it's like it's nice. Anytime you transact outside of the Ethereum network, I check to make sure that I did it right, because I'm like, wait, this is only like you do something on Cosmos, you're just like, it's pennies, and you're like, whoa, and you feel like you can just DeFi all day. You don't feel anytime you DeFi on Uniswap, you're like, oh God, I better make sure that I have enough money. I have to have at least $2,000 in here because I'm going to eat so many fees, and then like, oh, I want to stake, and so, provide liquidity. Oh my gosh, I got to double that. And so there's a lot more pressure when you're doing that. But when you're doing something like Osmosis that's on, Cosmos or just any other chain, it's just so much cheaper that you feel like, oh, I can make a mistake. Oh, I could not like that coin or that project the next day because I found out, by researching that they were into some really shady porn stuff or, whatever. And so you're just like, I don't want to be part of that community anymore, and you can bail. And you don't want to be part of the project, and you can kind of get out. And it takes a lot of the pressure away because just the low prices. And so you have that in Solana. And again, there's not much here. So when you go in, you're like, oh yeah, I want to do something. And to its credit, this is probably going to be like the one that's going to launch and bring notoriety to Solana art, and people are going to come check it out and be like, oh my gosh, what next? They're going to scroll, and I don't think there's much left. And so, sadly, I think it's tough. It's going to be nice for this project because they're going to be like, that first hit, but Solamas, it's just really kitschy stuff. You look at the new collections, Bold Badgers. So, they're trying to provide a marketplace, and kudos to them. And at this point, you can get this weird variation on, I don't know if it's a variation on Cura cards or anything like that, but it's certainly another animation style thing. But you can get it for $3,000. You can come in and for 30 Sol, get this. But people are being crammed in here because you're used to 10,000 items, in a collection. There's only 3,000 Aurori, and so it's easy for whales to, they're ahead of the game a little bit because they're getting a lot of good information. They're part of those clubs like what is that one? Friends with Benefits. My gosh, have you seen the value of that coin go through the roof? Because whales want to know what's going on, and there's so much going on right now. And they're not watching my channel, so please like and subscribe to catch up with the whales, because honestly, it's a lot of the same information. I've checked out some of the printouts and like the stuff that they give, and it's for me. I was just like, oh, okay, this is the kind of the stuff that I'm probably next to in terms of like people on the same chats and discords and stuff where they're just reporting the same way. I'm just giving it to you for free so that you can create something amazing and share it with the world. And a lot of buckets of money, not financial advice. We don't give that here. But that's why Solana is taking off and it's mooning. These projects are mooning. It's because there's nothing here and people are just curious because they've heard about it. There's such gigantic price movement on Solana as a coin because of this hype that they have a marketplace that's functional. So it gives them some hype. Unfortunately for them, I just don't think that people are going to land here and be excited by the marketplace, and that's the tough part. I think they're doing an okay job curating of what they have. I don't know what else to explore really. If I go to the explore function, I kind of found the same handful of projects, but I believe as soon as better artists come to this space, I believe Solana will be as aggressive as they should be, like Polygon and probably Cardano as well. But about collecting artists to bring them to their platform, because that's what's missing here. You need the art. You can have all the tokenomics and all the easy transfer fees and cheap stuff, but you have to have great art. And currently it doesn't. Maybe it has one, maybe two projects they might want to get involved in, but there's so few of them that when people come here and they want a piece of, we'll call it history. This is like beginnings of their marketplace, when they want an early project and say, oh, I was part of the first successful project on Solana. This is this is it. And so Aurori is that project. And so it's does it have a great Discord community? I kind of don't know. It certainly didn't have any roadmap that I could sort, like in terms of like utility beyond sort of it being cool. And I think everybody kind of keeps putting the same stuff, like yeah, this is gonna be in a game. This is definitely gonna be in a game, and metaverse. And so looking beyond that, where's the proof? Where's the proof of concept? Where are these things? Where's the team that's gonna bring this together? And so when you look at those, long term, I don't know, other than like historical significance, yeah, maybe get in on this project. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Please like and subscribe if this has elucidated anything for you in terms of the space, and especially if it's inspired you to go do something, go make something. This is what it's for. This is why I get excited. So go make something. Hit me up on the chat. Hit me up on the comments of things that you found with other great utility, and maybe we'll check them out later. Thank you.